Gamers, let's take a quick look at the Spectro Rover and see what tricks he or she might have up their sleeve. Everyone talks about the Havoc Rover, and rightly so, but what if some of us want to keep using the Spectro Rover? Maybe a situation will present itself where you really want or need Spectro damage, and really right now the Spectro Rover is the only Spectro kind of damage character that everyone has on their account right now, until a certain someone comes around, which I'll talk about a little bit more at the end of the video. So let's dive right in and take a look at the Spectro Rover's kit. So just a few key notes with the Spectro Rover. Obviously, it's a free unit. Everyone has this. If you don't have this, I have some questions. And who are you playing as? Like, everyone has this unit. And one of the interesting things about Spectro Rover's kit is actually the outro skill. Much like we talked about Yang Yang having a kind of special thing, here Spectro Rover has a unique ability to actually stop time for 3 seconds around the incoming character you're switching into. Kind of reminds me of Zhongli from Genshin Impact with his burst, how it kind of just petrifies everyone. So it is pretty interesting, and I can see this having some utility even down the line, potentially. So diving right into things, first looking at all the fortes. We're not going to be looking at the weapons, we're not going to be looking at echoes, but I want to talk about the intro skill first. Just does a little bit of damage, Spectro damage. But here's the outro skill, which I was just now talking about. Generate an area of stasis surrounding the next character or a character on a nearby team that activates an outro skill, lasting for 3 seconds. So you're basically just going to buy yourself a window of time to actually deal damage. Maybe you haven't done that break on the little white bar under the actual health bar, to where you can get in a nice damage phase without being interrupted by attacks. Maybe this can help you a little bit with that. I am curious to see where that goes down the line of the game. Looking at the basic attack, nothing really crazy here. I mean, you have a string of basic attack combos, a regular heavy attack, but there is 2 actually heavy attack combos here. One's called heavy attack resonance and one's called heavy attack after tune, which these do come into play, and I'll talk about those a little bit later when we talk about the Forte circuit. You also have a mid-air attack and dodge counter like everyone else. That's pretty much it. Like I said, we'll talk about these heavy attack combos later. Resonance skill, very simple, just a little bit of Spectro damage, nothing to it. We'll also talk a little bit about that with the Forte circuit. The Resonance Liberation, also just a touch of damage. It kind of does an initial hit that scales a little bit less than its then second hit. That'll deal a little bit more. You can see here with the scaling, and this is just at level 1. And it has a 20-second cooldown, which, by the way, the skill has only a 6-second cooldown. It's a nice cooldown, like you can use that pretty frequently. Looking finally at the Forte circuit, though, and kind of like obviously how the character works, Rover can hold up to 100 diminutive sound, and diminutive sound is just what they call his Forte circuit bar. If diminutive sound exceeds 50 when resonance skill is used, Rover consumes 50 of that diminutive sound to cast resonating spin, dealing Spectro damage, considered as resonance skill damage. So what that's talking about in the game, you look right down here at his Forte circuit bar. You can see how I actually have exactly 50 right here. So if I do use the skill, it's going to use those 50 up and do that resonating spin damage that I was talking about. So let's keep going. We also have a basic attack resonating echoes. After a resonance skill resonating spin ends, which I just showed you, Rover performs resonating echoes upon using basic attack button. Launch attacks for dealing Spectro damage considered as resonance skill damage as well. So you're getting a lot of skill damage in here. So anything maybe in the future that is increasing resonance skill damage, that's going to be greatly helping Spectro Rover. And then you do have your burst damage as well as the cherry on top, right? So what does this resonating echoes look like? Well, if we do the resonating spin, I actually need to build up my Forte circuit first. So let me go ahead, since I'm at that opportunity, I'm going to talk about how you can actually fill up that bar. Rover obtains diminutive sound for every normal attack vibration manifestation on hit. That's just the name of the normal attack. It just means you're going to gain Forte circuit as you deal normal attacks. Very simple. Rover also obtains diminutive sound for the heavy attack after tune and also on intro skill wave shock, which intro skill is going to happen kind of naturally. You don't really have to think about it, right? So basically, you're just going to be dealing a lot of normal attacks and doing your heavy attack combos that we did briefly go over earlier. And here's where this comes into play. You want to be using these combos so that you are building your Forte circuit. So what does those combos actually look like? If we go back to these, heavy attack resonance is the first one. After basic attack 3 or heavy attack, you can press the basic attack button at the right time to perform heavy attack resonance, dealing Spectro damage. So you will notice that it does say here in heavy attack resonance, it says at the right time you need to use the basic attack. So you can't just use it, right? It needs to be at the right time. How do you know when the right time is? Well, after doing a Basic attack 3. You'll see that glow that just appeared on the character. Watch real closely. There it is. There it is again. So once that is shown up, that's when you do that basic attack after to get you that heavy attack resonance. And there it is. So let me go ahead and just use the skill real quick. You can see how that uses the forte at the bottom. But I want to show you, you can also do heavy attack for heavy attack resonance, and then do that normal attack. If you watch it again, that glow on the character, and then I do it. Because if I wait too long, then you'll see that that damage was actually lower, because I didn't do it in time. So those are the two ways you can do heavy attack resonance. But then there's also aftertune. After heavy attack resonance that we just went over, or dodge counter hits a target, press the basic attack button to perform heavy attack aftertune, dealing Spectro damage. And you really want to use both of these a lot because, like I said, it's getting you that forte circuit so that you can use those more powerful resonance skill hits, which lead to resonating spin and resonating echoes. So let's demonstrate that. You do heavy attack, normal at the right time, then another normal. But see, right there, I just actually waited too late. There you go. That was both heavy attack combos. Here's what the ult looks like. Like we talked about, it has that initial hit, then that second more powerful hit. So I can use my skill because I actually have 100 diminutive sound. Use that skill. Then I'm going to use my normal that does that combo there that it was talking about with the resonating echoes. And there actually is, as you know, if you do decide to upgrade your Spectro Rover a bit later on in the game, you will get these inherent skills, which this is increasing that resonant echo damage by 60%. So that is a considerable increase. And then also you're getting 15% attack after, you know, casting heavy attack resonance. So like I said, you just really want to be using those combos as well as his skill when you have it, which it does have a low cooldown. So really in the end, the Spectro Rover is all about you just doing those heavy attacks, combos to get your forte circuit back up. Then you use that forte and use it for resonating echoes on the basic attack right after doing that skill. That's what it looks like. And then you want to build that back up, doing those combos. There you go. See how much that really builds up? It makes a huge difference. And you do notice it when you do it right. All right, and then I can like use my ult while the skill's on cooldown. Maybe I'll go for another combo to get my skills back up on the forte circuit. And like, I'm really feeling that faster than I can even use it up because of the skill cooldown, if you're playing it right. See that? So it's pretty fun and very easy to build that up, and I think it does make for pretty good playstyle with Spectro Rover. I mean, for being the very, very first, you know, you're playing as the main character, and this is the first kind of kit, it's pretty decent, especially if you need Spectro damage. And this leads me to some other questions I wanted to talk about. One thing I did want to bring up is Jin C is this new character that is going to be coming out eventually. We still haven't gotten a live stream. We haven't really gotten too much news about 1.1 or anything like that, but she is supposed to be coming out, and she will be a Spectro DPS character. So that then brings the question of, is the Spectro Rover actually worth building, especially if you're pulling Jinxie? And to that I would say, if you are pulling Jinxie, then probably not, unless you just want to build everyone, and it can be something extra in the back pocket. Maybe you want 2 Spectro DPSs, but there probably will be another, you know, form of Spectro damage in a new character at some point, right? I mean, there's also new 4-stars that will come out. There has to be a Spectro at some point, right? But if you're not pulling Jinxie and you really do need Spectro damage, I mean, we do have Verena, but she's a healer and she doesn't really do a lot of damage. Maybe you're just looking for a lot of Spectro damage. Spectro Rover can fill that role for you, and I think it's a lot of fun to play, and you already have it, and it's very easy to ascend. I mean, when you upgrade the Rover, you're given basically free ascension materials from playing the story, so it is resource efficient to actually build the playable main character. That on top of also having the resonance chains, because you also get those through objectives and stuff like that. You don't have, there's no part of the gacha system involved with that. So it's something that you can use, because why not? And you can have that on the back burner if you ever need Spectro damage. So at the end of the day, build him or her if you want to. You don't have to, but I've had a lot of fun. You know, in day one, I was actually very impressed with Spectro Rover. I was like, wow, this is so much better than like Animal Traveler, in my personal opinion, which there's uses there too. No hate. That's everything I have on this video. I hope you liked it. If you did enjoy it, you did find it helpful, then please go ahead and leave a like and subscribe, and go also check out Gacha Interact. It's my other YouTube channel I do with my partner Vixen, and we talk gacha games. We talk mainly Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, and with more Wuthering Waves content. So go check that out. I think you'd like a lot of it. Well, with all that out of the way, I'll see you in the next video.